Good early morning, everybody. It's October 14, 2025. I intended on recording this on October 13, 2025. However, the criminals had other plans for me, like using radio frequencies to put me to sleep while I'm reading. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Welcome back to my channel and for subscribing. And as promised, I've got a couple of tiny little mini testimonies. Every once in a while, subscribers will just send me, a couple of paragraphs and give me permission to read it online without their names. So here we go. This one is entitled Neighborhood Surveillance. Talk about crazy shit, trying to live one day in my shoes. I'm not public enemy number one, as somebody I know. When a little community wants to turn up the heat, they do it in unison. First, neighbors complained anonymously to local government officials. Code enforcement shows up, hits me with the most ridiculous infractions. Then, my dog gets banned from the bus forever. Days later, county auditor sends me a notice. My house is in foreclosure auction list for November. Now, I might have been born during the day, but it wasn't yesterday. Obvious collusion, pathetic tiny little group of insiders pulling these strings. Life shouldn't be like this, becoming a fight and a struggle. Honestly, I feel like it's me alone against 700 mother effers. I won't say the word. As I dig ever deeper into their corruption of $230 million in debt, plus $11 million in defaulted unsecured loans. Talking about one little small town here, a microcosm of everywhere else. I love sending you stuff because they read it too. Yes, when we type emails, the criminals are reading our stuff too. So, okay, now where's the next one here? Okay. Totally overlooked. This is by the same individual. Totally overlooked. When nobody believes me, oh, you're just crazy. It's all in your head. City says cars in my driveway are inoperable. Well, because the criminals they pay made them inoperable. Working on my ride nonstop won't start for some mysterious reason. Force me to ride the bus to work. The police show up. I need to prove to them that my vehicles with legal plates on private property actually run. They gave me 24 hours before the city impounds both, informing me they have a signed search warrant from a judge. Moved vehicles the next day. One went to the locksmith because the key all of a sudden won't turn in the ignition. The locksmith has to program a new key. Informs me that the old key had been swiped with a magnet. The car still won't turn over, nothing. So I arrange to tow back and park inside my garage. My garage, in which the criminals made the doors inoperable also. I set up a tow truck, wait until they arrive. I left my dog in the backyard. Open garage door. Somebody's parked watching the whole time the tow truck is there. They pulled away when the tow truck drove off. The dog was the only one in the backyard under 10 minutes. Someone had tossed chocolate back there during that time period. The dog was sick for 2 days. Total communication between the car parked watching me and my neighbors poisoning my dog over the fence. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that they poisoned your dog. I don't have a dog, but I do know that chocolate is not good for them. So I'm really sorry to hear that. And, these criminals, they will think of nothing. And that's what they do. That's how they get your animals to not bark. They lure them with treats and tricks and candy and doggy bones, etc. I'm sure they do it with cats. Oh, no, they don't do that with my cats. No. If one of my cats gets in the way, they'll kick the cat, paralyze the cat, tear their eyes out of their head, poison them, throw insects to infect the cats in the cat's building. That's what they do to my animals. And then, of course, they steal your hens. Send wild dogs onto your property to pick them up. Okay, here is the next testimony. This again is by a male who actually sent me some photos. Let me see. Harassment device. Let me see. 1 second. Okay. The bottom middle part had batteries in it. I don't have it anymore. I destroyed it and threw it away. I think this is why they tell people I stole $30K from a cartel, because they refer to themselves as one. Laughing my ass off. I have never had $30K once in my life, but I have destroyed a lot of their equipment. So he sends me a photo of one of their pieces of equipment. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Here you go. This is what he found. Okay, so evidently he finds stuff. They leave stuff behind. So I asked him, I said, where did you find it? He said, I found it in the room above my bedroom. It was making high-pitched tinnitus sounds. I only realized it wasn't tinnitus because I could tell my dog could hear it too. Every time I got close, it would quit making the noise, and I would have to sit completely still for 5 minutes until it made the noise again. I think they were trying to trick me into claiming I had tinnitus through the VA and try to get my benefits taken away. I've always had better than average hearing and sight. It would also do the noises right before I fall asleep. Oh, and I knew it wasn't tinnitus because every time I hit it and hit the audio record on my phone, it would fade into nothing and only show up as static in the recordings. And then he continues, he was answering my questions. No, it vibrated when I talked into it. I think that's the part that would shut it off anytime someone gets close. And then he says, the closest companion I could find is a cannibalized hearing aid advertisement. And let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so then he goes on to say, that VeriWave Group company out of California, that is making all of the harassment calls, and they're involved in the medical software development. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys, that they're experimentally trafficking us through these medical companies. He says, hey, I just wanted to let you know it's me deleting my comments on your channel. He might delete his YouTube channel. I said, well, thank you for letting me know. YouTube does hold some comments for me to review. The comments that are held by YouTube are at my request. When anybody uses the F word, hashtags and URLs, goes on to say, you're right, I probably will just hide my videos. Yes, you can hide your videos. You don't have to delete your channel. If you want to disappear, you keep your channel up, but hide your videos. You don't want to delete your evidence or in the sequence that you discovered it or uploaded it. You want to keep it there. Even if you want to, make your videos private that you can only share with a link. Don't delete your videos and don't delete your channel. Oops. Now, I received another comment from the same targeted person. The same town cop that pulled me over 8 times within a month, a quarter a mile down the road from my driveway years ago in a different county, that almost deleted me for digging for my paperwork before I moved towns, showed up at my house a year ago as a state trooper. When I had to call the cops for strangers in the front yard threatening me at 3 a.m., and he had his hand on his weapon hiding around the corner of my door after knocking. When I opened it, it was like I had some preconceived notion that I had bad blood with him. They are stalking me, and I believe the police sent them as criminal informants trying to escalate a confrontation. And that is what they do. They're provocateurs. I didn't get his name or record it. I actually unplugged my doorbell camera out of respect until he showed up, and then I recognized him. I don't know how to get his name to file a complaint, but one of these days I'm going to get a ride down there and get the pictures and names of from that station. And now they just crashed my $1,700 handheld gaming PC that I just got 6 months ago. This always happens whenever I get something nice. People wonder why I never get anything new, because it will get destroyed. My siblings used to walk around my place just tearing apart electronics and stuff to break them and then put them back together again. One of my foster siblings plugged an old-looking USB into my nice $100 BT speaker, and it never worked after that. And they call them USB deleters, I'll use that word, deleters, so I kicked them out. They just played dumb the whole time, like it had her music on it. So they're playing dumb about what they did with the USB. They damaged his speaker. And they crashed his $1,700 handheld gaming PC that is new. It's only 6 months old. And then he goes on to say they hurt my dog too. One day I came home from work and my dog's ribs were swollen, like somebody kicked her. And my house looked like it had been tossed. It happens a lot when I lived in Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania. That town is the worst north of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, north of Scranton. Well, I'm so sorry that all that's happened to you, and especially with the dog. And yes, they do kick animals. They do poison animals. They do harm animals. When I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, home I lived in for 30 years as the original owner and had a feral cat colony, these criminals went into my feral cat colony where I had some very friendly outside cats. And they literally picked up my cat by his hips and cracked his spine. And yes, I took the cat to the vet and I have video footage of it, photos of his crushed spine. And these people are evil to the core. Evil. They don't care about your animals. They're Luciferian Satanists. They have a different agenda. They're absolutely disgusting. And one day, we'll collaborate on a video only about animals, only about what they do to animals, because I want to get it into the hands of the correct animal rights organizations. So I want to have a chat about what they do to your dogs, your farm animals, your cats, your birds, or how about suffocating your chinchilla? Yeah, and that's what they did at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey. Suffocated my chinchilla. Anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Thank you so much, subscribers, for sending me your little mini testimonies here. It really does help people understand that they are not alone, and this is happening to a lot of people. Yes. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to talk to you soon.